Jason.
Putting the needle through the letter was a bad idea. His name has got to be more important to him than this needle, and you should not change the shape of that letter.
That was not my intentions. My intentions were to not blow up that building so damn big.
Any which way your intentions were, it changed the eye to it. Anything else but that. You can't change the shape of somebody's letter, their tattoo, regardless of what it is.
I can't restructure a building either, Chris. If you would have put that thing any lower with the concave of his back, then your building would have went like that.
I don't think there's that many tattooers in the building that would have run a needle through a letter. And everybody behind you is shaking their head no.
Today, you'll be going head-to-head on the same canvas at the same time.
What?
Because you must create interlocking tattoos.
This is crazy. I've never done anything like this.
Each of you must tattoo one of your canvas's forearms. Not only must each forearm stand alone as a complete piece, but when your canvas's forearms are touching, both tattoos must seamlessly connect to create one larger, impressive image.
What the hell? You have to adapt to the canvas's needs, adapt in the drawing styles, adapt in the fact that these have to form together. This is just a cluster of all kinds of adaptability. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah. You have to work together. If you do not match, you are out.
This tattoo is a double-edged sword. On one hand, I want a teammate that I can line up a tattoo and do perfectly, but at the same time, I want somebody that I can beat.
Do we have any other ideas besides just two birds?
Emily should already be gone.
Let's do a Siamese peacock.
I'd rather have a root canal and get hit by a jet ski than have to work with Emily with this silly-ass idea.
Sorry.
Let me just hear exactly what you wanted again.
Two dragons fighting.
Like a Chinese Oriental style dragon?
Kind of. I like the different type of Godzilla monsters.
Some more medieval looking?
Not medieval, just something unique.
I am so freaking stressed out of my mind right now. What we were thinking about is black dragons. You feel me?
Yeah.
Do you like the ideas of that? If you're gonna come and ask me for a tattoo, you better open your mouth and tell me what you want. I'm gonna spend all night drawing this, and if you come in here and we're not on the same page, you're gonna me out of a $100,000 tattoo. There's people you don't wanna with in life. Your heart surgeon, your hairstylist, and don't with your tattoo artist. What's happening, guys?
I like the look of this dragon, but instead of go with two dragons, if we could go with one dragon connecting between the two arms.
They're not gonna look good singularly on their own. You're gonna have one arm that just has some parts of body on it.
Isn't like maybe this part has the head and then goes through like some sort of hole or I don't know, and then like it might have some wings and then go back around to the bottom part and.
Is it your goal today to give me a goddamn heart attack, or what are we going?
No, I don't want to give you a heart attack.
Okay, well, I need to know what you're thinking, bro.
I just feel like it's gonna be kind of big.
You're a grown man. Let's give you a big boy tattoo and make it badass. There comes a time when you have to trust your tattoo artist. You need to sit down, shut the up, and hold on for the ride.
Are we doing that little bit to tip solid black, or are we leaving it open?
Mine's open. I know for a fact that I can beat out Aaron in this head-to-head. I came here to beat my rival. Now is my opportunity to make sure that Aaron goes home. It's a done deal. So what do you want to do about background?
I don't know yet, Emily. I not only have to work with my rival, but I have to beat her.
You're doing dark hair, right?
Dark hair, yeah.
It's nerve-wracking knowing I have to go head-to-head with Josh. He is a portrait artist, and I've only done a few portraits.
What do you think?
It's awesome, man. Good job.
Chris, who doesn't even do Japanese, did a way better tattoo than Jason. It's obvious that his anxiety is getting to him again. He's slipping. He's definitely not performing at the level that he thinks that he can. You want to be Ink Master? Not gonna happen this way, buddy.
Today, you had to show adaptability by working with another artist to create interlocking tattoos. Josh and Julia, let's start with you. These two designs, when they are interlocked, they don't seem to go together as well as they could.
I disagree. I felt like the angelic face we wanted to keep very light and airy. Obviously, if you go dark, then it won't have that contrast where it looks like good and evil.
I think that's where the adaptability part of this challenge would come in, because the idea was to make it look as though it was one connecting, flowing piece. Julia.
The detail is not very nice. The whole shape of her head, that just looks like a weird big toe.
I traced it from the actual picture.
Then why do the eyes look crooked?
I don't know. I thought it looked really good when I did it.
Look at the nose. She has no nose bone. If you're gonna shade a face, understand where the shading goes. Don't just wing it.
Emily and Aaron.
It's a tough artistic choice to show adaptability.
It looks like this peacock looked into a mirror and is so hideous that it shattered the mirror. Aaron.
If you're asked for a mirror and feathers, it has to be completely legible. That did not happen. Emily's peacock is a peacock. It is legible.
It was tough. It was tough coming up with the design and the layout.
Maybe if you did a smaller mirror with a handle on it and wrapped feathers around it and did a really ornate handle and do something beautiful, that is your game changer.
Chris and Jason. How did you guys collectively land on this concept?
We both decided we were going to do Japanese dragons.
Overall, it's one piece. Obviously, you see the red flame that trickles from one side to the next. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of interlocking.
I think you totally missed working together on the bottom, on the ending of the tattoo. Could have easily found a way to flow those two things together with loose shapes.
Jason. I'm having a hard time picking out this guy's lower jaw.
It's forward, it's protruding.
But there's nothing coming off of the bottom jaw.
I understand what you're saying, but it's because the angle of his head is coming at you more like...
It looks weird, man. It looks like an old man.
Japanese being your specialty, this should be ironclad. This should be very legible. And the fact that it's hard to read and hard to see what's going on is troubling for me.
Today, you had to create interlocking tattoos in teams. The judges have decided. Julia, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Please pack your machines and close shop. This week, we're testing gradation.
Gradation is going from super dark to super light and having a nice smooth transition in between.
There is no better test of gradation than a black and gray tattoo. Not only are you all going head-to-head with each other, you must also tattoo head-to-head with our guest judge. Mr. Tommy Montoya. Today, while you design and tattoo your canvas, Tommy will also design and tattoo at the same time.
That's crazy.
In critique, your tattoos will be directly compared to Tommy's tattoo.
Tommy Montoya is ridiculously talented. I am panicking.
And you must tattoo one of the most iconic black and gray images. Christ on the cross.
Jesus is such a recognizable image. Any mistakes are gonna be seen from a mile away. The room for error just got smaller.
Oh, boy. Good luck.
Right? How are you doing? Ready to get it on, dog?
Back of the calf?
Yes.
Okay.
The whole Jesus Christ with the thorns going across his head. Some drops of blood.
Okay.
All the way down to the nails on his hands,
Okay.
his feet.
I
I,
gotcha.
would like the cross to be realistic wood and the little cut that he had in his
Sure,
stomach.
from the spear. Yep, I got you, buddy. Okay, cool. The image that my canvas wants is crazy difficult because there's so much fine detail in this piece.
If anything, I want his face to be perfect.
Right on.
As perfect as can be. Can you do that?
Yeah. I have to produce a badass Jesus tattoo.
I feel I'm very versatile. I can adapt to any style. Mark tried to knock me down with this tattoo. It's not gonna happen. This is where experience speaks.
I might not know how to do much, but I do know how to tattoo.
There ain't no stopping me.
Marky the trickster over here.
Why am I the trickster?
Interesting to hear all the things that you had to say to those fine people.
I haven't been able to get any of my canvases to ever move where they were gonna get their tattoo since I've been here. I want everybody to feel my pain. I'm on the upswing, and nothing can stop me now. I'm doing a great job of showing gradation. I'm turning the table on the big dogs today, and I'm gonna do an amazing tattoo.
This has been a really rough competition for me, and I think this is finally a big win. So I'm pretty excited.
All this fine detail that I was freaking out about, it looks great. It's smooth, the gradients are in there. I've got this down pat. This is mine.
I think you're gonna be very happy.
Emily's tattoo is ugly. It's not even straight. So help me, Jesus, please let this tattoo send her home.
Tell me what you think.
For the first time in this competition, Clean needs to be worried about going home. The most important part of a Jesus tattoo is the face, and Clean royally messed this thing up. I made him take off his super clean cape and prove that he has flaws.
Today you had to show smooth gradation by tattooing head-to-head with our guest judge, black and gray expert, Tommy Montoya. Mark, let's start with you.
I like it overall, but the only real spots where I really see a smooth gradation in this tattoo is in the outer rays and then in his face around his eyes. There's a lot of tones, but there's not that gradation that we're actually looking for.
If you look at the shading that Tommy has under the right eye and the cheek, and if you look at yours, your side just looks flatter and weaker.
Emily.
The legs, when you compare them to the rest of the body, they definitely have some kind of foreshortening going on. From his shoulder to his pelvic bone is way longer than from the waist down to his ankles.
The cross is bending everywhere. Skin is not paper, and skin is not flat like paper, and that has to be taken into account when you're doing these kind of designs.
Chris, it's hard to tell that this is Jesus. With the abs, especially, it either looks like armor or it looks like there's an autopsy happening.
He said he wanted a ripped up Jesus, so I just did what he said.
I just think you picked a bad design, dude. And I know your client wanted it, but this is a competition. You should have told him, hey, it just doesn't look right. You obviously can shade.
And there are some areas in your tattoo that are very smooth and have a nice gradient. But the difference is, once you look over to Tommy's tattoo, all the tattoo looks smooth and soft.
Clean. Face, man, what happened there?
It's Jesus on a cross in pain.
You kept it real with me, so I owe you the same respect. The face, it sucks, bro. Right now, Jesus is looking like a Muppet, man. But you're lucky because everything else is badass. The gradation in all the body, it's soft, you know, and nice. I like how you did some outline on the arms and the wrists so that it separates it from the cross. It's a good tat, man.
Just looking at the richness of the two blacks, comparing them side by side, Tommy's black is really, really black. And if you look at yours, it doesn't show as packed and solid. And that's the difference.
Today you had to show smooth gradation by tattooing Christ on a cross in black and gray. The judges have decided. Emily, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Please pack your machines and close shop. This week, we're testing finesse.
Finesse is the ability to handle any difficult situation with delicacy and ease.
Today, you must tattoo one of the most sensitive areas of the body. The spine.
No, that's fun. Place hurts.
Yes, it does.
Getting your spine tattooed is insanely painful. There's a big fear that these people are not going to be able to sit for this.
The muscles and vertebrae in the back are very close to the surface of the skin. You must use finesse to work effectively with the contours of the back and help your canvas through what could be a very painful tattoo.
Finesse is very important when you're tattooing a spine because you gotta know when to give and take, because if their spine protrudes, you can really hammer right into their bone.
Every canvas wants the same subject matter as one other canvas. That means you'll all be going head to head with one other artist. You will have 6 hours to tattoo your canvas's spine. Based on your work, one of you will close shop. Good luck.
Hang in there.
What's going on? You nervous?
No, are you?
Going head to head with Chris is a joke. I could tattoo blindfolded and still beat this guy.
Kids these days, man.
I think it's a pretty fair fight. It's just gonna come down to who tattoos better.
If I beat Eric in a head-to-head competition, that's gonna solidify that I'm a better artist.
Always fun when you have sunburn, then the skin gets my needle. I gotta deal with it all the time. I'm on the beach. My canvas wants a Polynesian hawk on shoulder blade and shoulder blade. All the surfer bros want that stuff, and I do a lot of it. I'm stoked. I've been tattooing for 20 years. I'm anything but slow. Nobody can take out the funky long neck. I'm back.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time is up. Machines down. No more tattooing.
Oh my God. I love everything about it.
Incredible.
Cool.
That's sick, man.
Jason, this tattoo sucks. The lines are crooked, and to put the spire up in the middle of this letter was probably the biggest mistake you've made this entire competition. It's just a fail.
Today, you had to show finesse by tattooing on a difficult body part. the spine. Don.
The bottom of the spine is definitely off center. It's dead on in the top vertebrae, and the bottom it veers off.
The main thing that weirds me out about this tattoo is the weird blood dots. Because your client's so freckly and you did all of those red dots, it looks like something out of a disease medical journal. That's where you lost me on this design.
Mark.
You did show finesse by taking the old image of the sun and incorporating the light rays to the bird. It wasn't senseless background, it actually had meaning behind it.
My main problem with the tattoo is the tail feathers have that separation from the body. If you're gonna leave that halo gap, it should be equidistant all the way around.
Chris.
All these little bars that go across are not parallel, and there's a lot of inconsistencies. The bottom spiral is just out of whack.
I just wanted to make the bottom half look like it was breaking apart.
But if you would have had those things actually be broken and have some of these bars falling off at the bottom, then somebody would be able to say it's falling apart.
Jason, you went up against Josh. As far as the Empire State Building itself goes, when you have this close of an image of it, those lines have to be exactly parallel in order to really create that structure. And at the top of this thing, before you get to that needle, those lines are a little bit wobbly.
Putting the needle through the letter was a bad idea. His name has got to be more important to him than this needle, and you should not change the shape of that letter.
That was not my intentions. My intentions were to not blow up that building so damn big.
Any which way your intentions were, it changed the eye to anything else but that. You can't change the shape of somebody's letter, their tattoo, regardless of what it is.
Can't restructure a building either, Chris. If you would have put that thing any lower with the concave of his back, then your building would have went like that.
I don't think there's that many tattooers in the building that would have run a needle through a letter, and everybody behind you is shaking their head no.
Today you faced off tattooing your canvas's spines. Any one of you could be justifiably eliminated. However, there is a situation that we have to address. Josh, you violated multiple rules of this competition, and as you admitted, you've been in possession of contraband.
Sorry.
Josh, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Today, you must all tattoo the same subject on the same body part. You must tattoo a skull on your canvas's head.
I know from firsthand experience, getting your head tattooed is no fun.
That's crazy, dude.
I just hope these canvases are prepared to go through some pain.
Somebody's gonna have a headache.
The surface of the head is round and irregularly shaped. A skull is one of the most iconic tattoo designs, but making it flow and fit with the contours of the head is a true test of your placement skills.
Proper placement on a skull is so difficult because it's like tattooing on a bowl. There's curves this way, there are curves that way.
Good luck.
Tattooing a skull is something everybody should excel at. It's iconic imagery.
How's it going, man? Aaron.
Tattooing on the head is going to be the trickiest part of this. If you make a mistake, it really shows.
I've been waiting to do my head. I've done a bunch of head tattoos. That's not a problem.
Okay, dude. Let's tattoo, man. I'm really feeling the pressure of this competition. I am not ready to go home. I don't give a If I'm going downward spiral, I'm gonna go right back up and I'm gonna win. Forgive me if I don't talk too much, dude. I'm trying to win. I'm gonna prove to everyone that Jason Clay Dunn is here to battle. I can do this. How's that, bro?
It's a walk in the park, man.
The tattoo's coming out better than I expected, and the colors are really popping against his skin.
It's a cool piece. I love tattooing the head.
It's not ready for it.
Oh, that's intense.
I don't know what Jason's thinking with this tattoo, but it looks like the placement is really weird. The drawing is lacking. Jason needs to put his big boy pants on and really step up his game if he wants to stay in this competition.
Today, you had to tattoo a perfectly placed skull on your canvas's head. Jason.
It definitely doesn't look like a skull. It kind of looks like a latex mask.
Okay, I can see that because a lot of these old skulls, they had like skin, they were like mummified.
This has to be clear. You have to make this stuff readable. You have a lot of areas in this where you just need it to go a lot lighter. The forehead's more deep set than the eyes and the nose, and this tattoo from a distance is hard to read.
Don. How do you feel about the canvas you got?
My canvas was an absolute maniac. His main reason for this tattoo is he wanted to piss people off.
If he wanted like badass, I feel like any other color but green would have made it stand out.
What color would you have chose?
Something else, not green.
The big thing for me is you have two different looking tattoos. You have one that's very textured and one that's very smooth. So you have a very slick skull from eyes down and very textured skull on the top. That throws your composition of your design, your drawing element off. You gotta make all that stuff match. Don't do 50-50.
Today you had to tattoo a skull on your canvas's skull. The judges have decided. Don, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Don, you have not blown me away with a drawing. How can you be Ink Master?
Please pack your machines and close shop. This week, we're testing precision.
Precision is making sure all the little details in your design are exact and perfect.
Today, you must tattoo the ultimate test of precision. A portrait. Every canvas wants the same portrait as one other canvas. Wow. Giving a side-by-side comparison like never before.
Go big or go home.
That means you'll all be going head-to-head with one other artist. You will have 6 hours to tattoo your portrait. Based on your work, one of you will close shop. Good luck.
Let's go, man.
You ready for this?
I love it.
Right? It's pretty, right?
That's awesome.
Cool. There's no chance in hell that Mark's gonna beat me today on this portrait challenge. I'm always pushing the limits. I'm always trying to be innovative.
Oh yeah, some flowers?
Yeah, some stuff just to finish it off nicely. So it look cool.
Well, it's looking good. If I beat Eric, the judges are definitely gonna have to take notice. My whole strategy right now is to go big or go home.
I do color portraits, not black and gray. I'm really trying to take my time here. One mistake, this portrait is done. Any little slip up, you're not gonna recognize the person.
Do you wait to do like some of the heavy darks?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the portraits, really. I mean, I don't know.
Chris's tattoo looks very sloppy. If he doesn't go back in and smooth that out, that could be the kiss of death.
This is one of the scariest, most intimidating challenges of the entire competition. And this is the one that I've been ready for since day one.
Stay with me. We're almost the end, okay?
I'm ready to watch everybody else fall down and me to rise. This may be one of my best wins.
I love it. I can't wait to wear shorts.
Does it look like Mom?
Yes.
Competitor wants to see.
Going down.
Eric's tattoo does not look like the reference photo. It looks more like a comic book character with a chef's hat. Eric has a very inflated view of his own skills, and he needs to be nervous.
Today, you had to tattoo the ultimate test of precision, a portrait. Each of you tattooed head-to-head with another artist, and we will directly compare your work. Eric.
The attention to detail on the eyes is nice. The eyes are the most important part of the entire face. But there's certain things that are changed, like the nose. You can actually see the other side of the nostril, and in the photograph you can't. So it almost tilts the face in one aspect, but then everything else is the same.
That's how it was in the photograph when I bumped up the contrasts.
You altered details, which changed the shape of this lady's face. That bottom lip is a completely different shape than what it is in the photo.
Chris, you went head-to-head with Aaron.
My big problem with this tattoo is you made up a bunch of highlights that don't exist in the photo. On her neck, underneath her chin, you just made up a complete white highlight that doesn't exist. It really does change the shape of this girl's face a lot. You exaggerated the lines in her creases in her mouth. In the photo, she looks real soft and round, and you put a lot of hard edges on her.
Aaron.
I think the first thing that I notice on this is that droopy eye. On the right, it sags a little bit. I think that throws things completely off.
Another place that the precision is not there is in that mouth. Those lips are not her lips. And then the really dark you did in the gums, it makes it almost look like she's missing teeth. Translation from the photo to the skin is where the precision has to be 100%. And a portrait is very unforgiving.
Portrait King just got decrowned.
Today, you went head-to-head tattooing portraits. Who goes home? My vote is for Chris to go.
Aaron.
Aaron.
The judges have decided. Aaron, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Choices were just off. And if you would have hit one or two choices right, this would not be this decision.
Please pack your machines and close shop. Mark and Chris, your Grim Reaper tattoos failed to impress the panel of judges. You must now face off to earn your spot in the top 4. You have 4 hours to do Jason's design head-to-head, and your time begins now.
You know any type of color or? Nah, man, I trust you 100%.
This is one of the most commonly used Japanese flowers in tattooing, but it's one of the hardest.
When I drew it, I was like, this is really busy, and I shrunk it down. I'm like, yeah, they're
It's going to be interesting to see if Chris or Mark are able to pull this off and do a home run tattoo.
I'm worried about finishing this because it's a very intricate design.
I did like 5% smaller.
Smaller.
This is do or die for me right now. I have to beat Mark.
One thing I'm not gonna rush is the outline.
I can see it now. Surfer dude versus bow tie boy.
If I lose to Chris at this tattoo right now, I'll be losing at my own game. I do Japanese tattoos. There's no way I'm gonna let a young bow tie wearing dude beat me.
I was kind of excited to see him do my design.
He's probably never done a Cassandra.
Chris's technical application is just not good. The shading is questionable. It's not solid.
Let's see how much of his lines he can hide.
He definitely needs to get it cleaned up to beat Mark.
1 hour remaining.
I think the design worked, guys.
No, I think the design was perfect because you're gonna see flaws. And that's the main objective, is to see what's going on. Because his line work is definitely not 100%.
If this is what he does on a daily basis, he should knock this one out of the park.
How many colors are you gonna do in that flower?
Blue and magenta?
The color choices that Mark's making are just really poor and they're not gonna look good on the skin.
15 minutes left.
Both those guys are sweating. Chris's outline's kind of weak, his saturation's kind of weak. Mark's more or less like, you know what? They're both equally crappy. It's a tough one, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, machine's down. No more tattooing.
Who's going home?
Chris's tattoo has too much going on. You have to leave a little bit of skin to make this thing breathe. It's definitely not better than mine.
That masterpiece right there, man.
Cool, man. Mark's tattoo is way too dark. It's supposed to be colorful and vibrant, but his looks like a puddle of
It's badass, dude. Let's win this thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Mark and Chris, you faced off tattooing a design by Jason. A spot in the top 4 is on the line. One of you will win, and one of you will close shop. Let's see how you did. Chris.
Technically, I think it looks pretty good from afar, but what was the strategy behind shrinking this design?
I was just intimidated to do it at that size because I thought that I would take longer with it.
I think you could have done it faster if you enlarged the design and simplified it as you went. I think that center is going to be unreadable in the future.
These are the things that scream inexperienced and scream young. And that's disturbing to me because you're coming here to take the title of somebody who knows everything all around, and you don't.
Mark.
First glance has a pretty good overall look to it. I really like the way you use the light gray in the water, let the flower stand out strong. But I think there's a few areas in this tattoo where the line work has some problems. These little petals that swing out everywhere, there's some kinks in a few of them.
There's this huge pink petal at the bottom of the design, and it's just an eyesore. You should have added a fold, and you didn't.
The pink one I just figured was one that you could see that actually fell the other direction.
You would see 2 parts of it. Look at the consistency of all the other petals. It doesn't make sense.
Who wins the face-off?
I gotta go with Mark. You got a lot of heart. You're fighting for your spot, you know, and Chris, you're not.
Rose.
Mark.
Mike.
You're not showing you want it. So my vote is Mark.
Chris.
I'm going with Mark.
The judges have decided. Chris, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Please pack your machines and close shop. Welcome, artists. Clean, you have earned your spot in the live finale. Jason, Mark, and Eric. Today, you have one final tattoo to determine who goes to the finale and who packs their machines. Everything depends on this tattoo. Jason, you now have the power to help determine your fate. You must pick the subject of the last elimination tattoo.
At this point, any of you guys could make it, and any of you could go home. So choose wisely.
Every guy here is gonna expect me to do some sort of a Japanese design.
Jason, what is your decision?
Birds. I'm a badass when it comes to realism. I could kick their ass by doing a simple bird.
Parrot in flight. Much more dynamic.
Very dynamic, colorful, and bold. I know I deserve that spot because I'm a fighter.
So colorful.
Jason definitely needs to be worried.
What do you think, Mike?
That's freaking awesome.
He had the advantage, and he did a boring-ass bird. Now he's gonna go home.
Today, you all went head-to-head tattooing a bird. This was your last chance to out-tattoo your rivals and prove that you deserve a spot in the live finale. Mark. So when we came into the shop, you had a peacock perched. Now you've moved into a more dynamic design.
I listened to you guys, I put it in flight, and I was happy with the design I picked.
I think this shape is a lot more flattering to the leg. The spread wings definitely are more dynamic. From a distance, this tattoo has a wow factor to it. But on close inspection, man, it's just not solid and smooth. This color saturation on this yellow, it's very patchy, and it's very inconsistent from one feather to the next.
Look at how consistent Eric's wing looks, and look at the consistency in your wing. It's just night and day. I gotta say, man, I don't love this tattoo.
This week, you had to prove that you can handle any tattoo that is thrown your way. Jason and Mark, one of you will not be going to the live finale. Mark.
You're a better artist on paper. That artwork needs to come through in your tattoos. If you just make everything match, you sew yourself up a guaranteed victory.
You want me to match up every wing like Eric did on his tattoo?
I do.
But wings are not the same. I was trying to emulate an actual feather.
You did a graphic take on a wing
that's what
with
it is.
graphic feathers, then make all the graphic feathers the same so that there's no question.
The judges have decided. Jason, you are headed to the live finale. Mark, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
You made it to number 4. You showed a lot of fight.
Please pack your machines and close shop.